Good afternoon. All right. So we're going to need things. So there's a couple objects that I could start working on. For objects that I can make for this. So let's see. We could make a flying feather net swarm object, swarm agent, you should say. I could make a ball holder object. Well, I like the idea of a ball holder object. I can capture a ball and then fire an event off so we can do things like open a door with the right thing. Let's see, we could make a UU swarm. We could make a patrolling morgue. We could make bushes you can hide in, or a hideable object. Hideable object, and then a bush would be the first object. We could make a wind gust object. Well, how about it? Why don't we try making that wind gust object? Alright, so if we make a wind gust object, what would we like this to do? Well, we're gonna need to have like something that we can collide with the rest of everything in order to actually like influence stuff. I guess we need a big collider sort of thing. So let's have a capsule collision. How about that? And we should have like, you should be able to attach particle effects to this thing in order to make a wind gust out of it, right? So why don't we take this this swarm? Do we have anything else that might work for wind that wouldn't look completely just trash? And that's rain. It's not gonna work. I think the swarm stuff here might be able to do it. So why don't we clone that? I think we've got sliding grass. Maybe I should actually learn how to do some of this at some point. Actually, this steam column might be what I want. So why don't we grab the goal? Let's duplicate. Let's do FX wind gust. How come if we delete this guy, it it causes black stuff to appear? I think we'll just use this then. Well, it just has to be something. Alright, so we'll have stop wind and start wind. So we're going to, if we start our wind, we're going to grab all the particle systems. So get components by class. Let's get particle systems. And let's go over and activate all of them. Alright, we'll also want a so let's get our started time as well. Event when this actor overlaps another actor, for example, player walking into a trigger for events when object blocking collision, for example, player hitting a wall, see hit events. Components of this and actors have set to true. Alright, well I guess Alright, well, let's get our primitive components, or are these colliders? What is this type? Capsule collision? I think it's just a primitive. So we'll try that. Alright, I guess we can just use this actor begin and end overlap, right? Alright, so if we were started here, we're going to get all of these actors. And we're going to see if these are balls. So we're going to cast to BP Braxac ball. And we're going to affect the wind. So if it's valid, we'll go ahead and snag all the components. Or maybe we should just call it and say, hey, you're being affected by a wind gust. And let's add a wind force. So if we go to our event, we'll pass that in. Look at that. I need to go to the actual ball itself. Add a function for like add force or something. Apply force. So we should have a direction. And should that just be the force? Yeah, why don't we have direction and then we'll also have a time. Okay, so we'll just do like a simple multiplication and add it to the thing. Why not, right? So what we want to do is we want to grab like our default scene root or like a get transform, get actor transform, then transform direction. How come that's X is that way? It's not where X is. Yeah, I was like, what is going on with that axis that they're showing me? So X is to the right, so we should be doing a transform of 1 there. So it's going to be an update. Yeah, it's going to be like this. So that'll be the wind force. I'll grab our delta T. So let's add a environment, wind gust. So let's add the wind gust. Let's have it go straight up. And see what it does. So it should be 1,000 in the Z direction. And we step into it, and we're not frozen, so we're gonna add in this 30. So it's probably just way too small. So we should probably multiply this by 1,000 or something like that. Or by 100 or something. Let's just do wind force mult. And let's just set that to 100. Mainly because it's going to get way too complicated if our wind force stuff is... If the numbers get too big, it's hard to conceptualize what even any of that means. Just going, gone. Alright, so we weren't removing it from our contained actors, so of course. What's going on with this? Output log. It's going to be inside of our update, right? We're going to say basically like if let's give it a really big force. I want to see what happens with this thing. Alright, so one of the things that I want to do is I want to get the distance from maybe the middle of the capsule, but that's not really going to work too well. I'm trying to think if we had some sort of fall off. now is this thing doing? How come with a scale of 2 that thing moves out? Huh? With a scale of 5 that thing goes into the sky? What in the hell is going on with this object? So if I take this scene route and I say you need to be 2, it's gonna move it out? Why would that be? Because the center of the object is over there? Okay, so pretty much what has to happen here is this wind gust actually has to be over here for this to work, I guess. So we make this thing bigger. It actually makes it bigger as opposed to just making it a pile of crap. So let's make this thing fatter. And then how come that gets pushed down? Wow. Alright, so pretty much how this object needs to be messed with, I guess, is you actually have to go change the object itself. What? This object is all sorts of... I guess the question is, why does this collider have upside down everything's? Like, this should be like that. And when we rotated it by 90 degrees, it gets all sorts of screwed up. So the problem has to do with what? The capsule collider has like really weird properties to it? Let me see. I guess we can just get rid of the... I'm surprised. Why can I not make a capsule that works? You know, like... Wow. Okay. This is really all sorts of fucked up. I do not understand how this is possible. Like, this is a 000 object at the origin, and the capsule is going in the wrong direction compared to. Like, the capsule is now freaking out because its orientation got changed. Man, there is some serious shenaniganry that goes along with this stuff. Well, what if we just make this a sphericulator? I mean, is it basically that for this object, you're just gonna have to deal with it? Like, you're just gonna have to edit? Because this gets all sorts of fucked up. Like, it makes no sense that it flipped all the axes around for this thing. Like, I don't even see where it changed the axes on me. But all of a sudden, Z is the wrong fucking direction, and we can't change the origin of the capsule or anything. So it's like, well, what in the hell? So if we rotate this 90 degrees, it appears to work. Can we rotate it another 90? Alright, so now it's working? Oh man, that is so weird. Well, let's add other things to this, right? What would be the best way to do this? I guess basically it's like we have a wind gust and we don't have anything in there, so we'd want to go to environment and we'd want to make a new blueprint based on BP wind gust. And we'd want to call this BP horizontal wind. Okay, why do we now have this thing here? Right, because we do. And if we went to our regular wind gust and we just delete our stuff, when we go to our horizontal wind gust, we'll have the thing. So what we want to do is go to our wind gust here, and can we replace this? Transform, pivot, add event. There's like an add actor or replace actors. Where was that? Replace with. Alright, so select the new versions of the assets in the content browser. Right click on selected one in the editor, selecting replace selected actors. It's not an automated solution. So we right click on the asset. So I'm probably clicking on the wrong thing. Right click on any selected one in the editor. I swear to God, this worked before. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, now I remember. You have to right click on the actual actor in this thing. Alright, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to make a component. Can we make a blueprint component? Blueprint, macro, class. Can we base this off of an actor component? Yeah, okay, so this will be BP periodic wind component. So what we'll do here is we'll give it a variable which will be our on time and off time or something like that. So what did I give for these timed platforms? I gave a stagger, set time, and visible time. So a stagger, set time, and then on time. And these are all floats. And then what did I do for the platforms? Alright, so we'll have our parent as a BP wind gust. If that doesn't do it, then I'm going to say a periodic wind component not attached to a wind gust. Alright, so we'll grab this guy and we'll do, yeah. If this is valid, then we'll actually do the thing. I guess we should also check has authority. Alright, so I think that works. So this should work over the network as well. Well, we'll see if this does what it's supposed to do. So on our event graph, basically, I think inside of begin play, we need to do our on-rep started. This function is not marked as blueprint callable. Set wind states. Alright, so if we go to this guy and we go to our wind gust and we add a periodic wind component to it, does it turn itself on and off?